So I go to Akihabara with some friends, and a lot of them are like, let's go to a maid cafe. This has been a dream of mine. I gotta go. Let's go. Again, I wasn't keen on going, but one of those friends was recently dumped over text, and I was also the only Japanese speaker in that group. So, as the Japanese speaker and a solid homie, I couldn't say no. If I told you the scariest place in Japan, what would cross your mind first? A Yakuza hideout? An Okinawa jungle filled with venomous snakes? Kabuki-cho in Tokyo? My honest answer is this. Maid cafes. Maid cafes are terrifying. For those of you who don't know, maid cafes are a uniquely Japanese type of business. You enter a themed cafe, and the themes vary wildly. I don't have the information off the top of my head, but I'll have some pictures in there. So you go in and you are served by young women who wear French maid outfits. They sing, they dance, and they call you master. They also often act in such a way that is in line with common anime character tropes. And for many of the women who work as maids in the cafes, it's a surprisingly well-paid gig. The food is usually also themed and prepared to look as cute as humanely possible. Like rice balls with cat faces on them and things like that. So, with all that being said, that does not sound terrifying at all. But first of all, I am creeped out being called master by a stranger. It just doesn't sit right. But the biggest thing for me, as a very frugal traveler, is the price. It is expensive to go to a maid cafe. Gotta sip on a cocktail to do this video. We're in for a real wild ride today. This is a mojito made with mint from the garden. It's been on my desk for a while, so the ice is kind of melted, but you get the idea. Maid cafes surprise you with fees. You're charged for entry, for your time there, for food, for beverages, to take photos, to wear accessories, and more and more and more and more, and it just adds. It's crazy how much you can be nickeled and dimed at a maid cafe if you aren't prepared to defend your wallet with your life. The one time I went, I thankfully had been warned by a friend well before I even considered going to a maid cafe. They told me how they just went along with it, they had a great time, and then they saw the bill. It was like $50 per person for like 3 people. Yikes. In summer 2018, I was on a summer study abroad program, and it was mostly in Kyoto, but we had a 3 or 4 night trip to Tokyo, and a lot of that was free time. So I go to Akihabara with some friends, and a lot of them are like, let's go to a maid cafe. This has been a dream of mine. I gotta go. Let's go. Again, I wasn't keen on going, but one of those friends was recently dumped over text, and I was also the only Japanese speaker in that group. So, as the Japanese speaker and a solid homie, I couldn't say no. We're in Akihabara, and we find a place called Maid Dreaming, or Maid Dreaming. I tell my friends about how easy it is to get nickeled and dimed at a maid cafe, and we devise a strategy to protect our wallets. So 1, we only go for the minimum amount of time. We pay the entry fee that gets you 45 minutes, and we leave at the 44-minute mark. We also only purchase the minimum amount of food and drinks. Everyone has to order a drink, and the table has to get 1 food item to share. This will make us the worst customers, but for college students on a shoestring budget, this is a sacrifice we are willing to make. We go in, we get seated, we're called master, and we're asked for our orders. We order our food, and I tell them, this is all we're gonna order. We have somewhere to be later. We're only gonna get the 1 drink each and split the 1 food for the table. So prior to getting our order, we get like a ton of attention, like all the maids are coming up saying hi and all that. And as soon as we let them know that we are only going to get 1 drink each and the 1 food item, all that attention stops because they know we're the worst customer. So we're basically ignored. However, As we wait for our food, we're given complimentary accessories to put on for a photo, and we're instructed to do as follows. Like, comment, subscribe. Wait, that's not it, but do that anyways. It was actually pyong pyong cute. That might not be the exact things we were told to say, but that's the exact vibe. We get our food, it's super cute. We end up paying about $15 each, which in the grand scheme of things is really not bad at all. Between the entry fee, the sitting fee, and the food and drink. And then we go. So, after that story, you think, well, that really doesn't sound bad. Surely that's not why maid cafes are terrifying. And you're right about that. Aside from my own personal gripes with spending money and being called master, I don't have any problems with maid cafes as a concept. But we need to look at the deeper issues. Your clientele at a maid cafe are either foreigners who are curious with the concept, who just want to go, see what's going on, and have a good time, or far more depressingly, single Japanese men seeking companionship, even if it's only superficial. The actual scary thing is that there is a huge demand for businesses like maid cafes that offer some semblance of companionship. And that is a symptom of far deeper issues in Japan as a society. I love Japan, and I truly treasure every day that I've gotten to spend there. But my extensive experience with the country and the language are exactly why I'm familiar with these deep issues. Things like extreme overwork, really bad bullying, super high levels of depression, an aging population, low birth rate, and the more. If you've watched videos about issues in Japan, you probably know all about it. Due to these issues, many Japanese people either lack the time or the energy, or both, to seek companionship. Whether that's a relationship or even just friendship outside of your coworkers. This is why maid cafes, host and hostess clubs, and far less savory businesses exist in such a huge quantity in Japan. And these issues that government policy really could help to alleviate, aren't really taken nearly as seriously as they should be. The view is often shoganai. It can't be helped. Work can be done to reduce these problems, but it's not being done. As a foreigner who doesn't live in Japan, this is as far as my criticism will go. I don't want to be that white guy who's just bashing on a foreign country. It's not the maid cafes themselves that terrify me. It's the conditions in a country that allow businesses like this to prosper. Many foreigners, the weebier type especially, view Japan as some perfect paradise of a country. There is a lot to love about it, the food especially. But no country is perfect. As someone who really wants to highlight Japan and my experience with it on my channel, I would be totally remiss not to highlight both the good and the bad. In any case, if you do go to Japan and you're curious about the maid cafe experience, go for it, but do take measures to protect your wallet. And of course, like, comment, and subscribe! This is a new concept of video for my channel. Since I can't go to Japan right now, the best I can do is talk about it on my channel. I'm also potentially planning a Japan trip with some friends. I do want to make more videos like this. Let me know in the comments what you think, and of course, remember to like this video and subscribe for more. See you next time!